Hey, good morning everybody. It's Dave here, Holiday for Two. Hope you're having a good day and I hope we have a good week. Today's video is going to be called my top 5 Arizona winter camping picks. And so I'm going to go through 5 picks that I suggest if you're coming to Arizona and you want to check out some camping. Most of these will be paid spots, but there is one spot that is a BLM spot. I hope this helps you if you're making your travel plans to Arizona this winter. So let's get to it. My top 5 Arizona winter camp picks. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe so you'll be notified when I put out more videos in the future. So let's get to it. My top 5 Arizona camp picks for winter. Here we go.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
All right, well, let me go ahead and start with my list here. And none of these are in any particular order. These are all, most of them are spots that Tammy and I have been to in the last year or two, or maybe even 3. There's a couple of spots that I have on my list that I haven't been to for a few years, but we plan to make trips to go back there. Great spots. Like I said, most of these spots are paid campsites that you can reserve ahead of time, which is really helpful if you're making travel plans to come through Arizona in the wintertime. There are lots of BLM spots available. In fact, if you want to check out some BLM spots, I'll put a link up here in the corner. If you're looking for free or BLM camp spots, check out the little link right here on BLM camp spots. So let's start with number 5 on my list. This is a great spot, number 5. We've been to before, and it's been on a couple of my lists before, so I'm just gonna get to it. Number 5 is Gilbert Ray Campground in Tucson. And I picked this spot because, first of all, price-wise, it's very reasonable. It used to be a little cheaper, but I noticed the prices on a lot of campsites are going up right now. Right now, you can get a full RV site for $35 a night. You can reserve these on the Pima County reservation website for Pima County Parks. I'll put the link in the video. I'll also put links down below in the description for all of these. And I do believe I have a couple videos on that, so I can also put a link up here in the corner for the video on Gilbert Ray Campground. I picked this because it's close to a lot of things that you might enjoy seeing. It's close to Old Tucson, which is just reopened. It's close to Saguaro National Park. Tucson is the home for saguaros everywhere. It's just incredible. And of course, the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum is also close by when you stay at Gilbert Ray. It's practically walking distance. I think it's like a mile. So if you have bikes or a little golf cart or something you want to drive over there, you can. Or you can just get in a car and drive over there. It's about 1.5 miles from the campsite, if I remember right. It's also close to things that are in Tucson, like Sabino Canyon and the Pima Air Museum. So there's a lot of things to see if you stay there for a few nights. Tucson definitely has a lot of things to see. Great cell service. There are over 130 campsites at Gilbert Ray. They have 20 amp, 30 amp, and 50 amp hookups. They also have a dump station on site. So if you stay there, you can dump your holding tank there on site. And water available, but no showers. Flushable bathrooms, but no showers. But I'm going to say this with all of these campsites. Be sure to check online because things over the summer and over the winter in the last 6 months have changed. I noticed that prices have gone up, and also there are a few new amenities that have been added to some of these campgrounds that I didn't realize, or they weren't there before. So always check ahead of time if you plan to stay in one of these campsites, any one of these. So here, let's go to number 4. Number 4, and this is one it's a great spot. If you're from out of state and you've never been here before, number 4, Quartzsite, Arizona. This is a spot, if you're from out of state and you've always heard about Quartzsite before, or maybe you haven't heard about Quartzsite, make a stop through if you're planning to come through that area of Arizona. I'll put a little map in here so you can see where it's at. Quartzsite is about an hour, 2-hour drive west of Phoenix. In the wintertime, this place is, well, it goes from being nice and relaxing and sleepy to crazy in mid-January through late February. That's the peak season for Quartzsite. But there are actually 4 free campsites that I'm going to show you about. And real quickly, I'm going to go through each one. There's also a spot that's close to town that's called La Posa. And La Posa is, there is a fee for La Posa. These are all BLM campsites. So north of town is High Jolly. We've been there before. It's a free campsite. It's a 14-day stay limit. Then there's Roadrunner Campground, which is south of Quartzsite and along the 95 highway. It's probably about 5-6 miles south of Quartzsite. It's a free 14-day BLM campsite. I also have videos on all of these, so you can check them out too. Then we stayed last year at Dome Rock, which is west of Quartzsite on the west side, and that's got a lot of spots out there for BLM camping. It's free, 14-day stay limit. And on the east side of Quartzsite is a place that we haven't tried yet, but we will next time we go, is Skadden Wash area, which is on the east side of Quartzsite. You go past La Posa and keep going a little bit, and then you'll run into Skadden Wash area. And that's a free 14-day stay limit BLM campsite. Now, if you want to stay closer to town, that's La Posa. La Posa has a $40 fee for 2 weeks. Now, really, that's not unreasonable, I think, because of the facilities and the amenities that go with it. When you pay the $40 fee, it helps to offset the cost of garbage pickup, water, plus a dump station, plus there's people close by that you can get in hold of if you need assistance on anything. So you're fairly close to town. And the fee really helps offset some of those things that they have to pay for when there's large crowds out there. Because believe me, early mid-January through the end of February, it's going to go from, the town normally has about 5,000 people in the summertime. It's just like they roll up the sidewalks and everybody just goes underground. No, I'm just kidding. But it's so hot there. We went through there this summer and it was just hot. There were a few people camping even in July or June. And it was just, I don't know how they do it. It's just hot. It's 110 degrees. But it's a great spot to go and check it out. So those are the 4 spots I recommend. Cell service. Oh, here's the thing. This summer when we went through in June, we weren't getting a cell signal through Quartzsite. Now that might be just a fluke. We have T-Mobile. We were driving through Quartzsite and it was all SOS on our cell phone. And in the past, we've had cell signal there. So I don't know if it was just a fluke, probably was, but just be aware of that. Sometimes the cell service can be a little sketchy, especially in the wintertime when there's a lot of people there. Like I said, it goes from 5,000 people up in the wintertime when the big activities come in mid-January through into February. You can go from 5,000, 75,000, 100,000 people all in this area. So it does get busy in the wintertime. If you come before New Year's, you'll be fine. It's slow. The weather's great. If you come after the end of February, it starts to slow down and taper off as well. So if you're coming from February and March and April, the weather's still nice. You'll be fine. But if you come through that peak season, just be ready for big crowds. So that's number 4. Number 3. Number 3 is a campsite that we have not been to, but we plan to go. We've had relatives stay there. And number 3 is Lost Dutchman State Park. This is near the town of Apache Junction, Arizona. I'll show all these on the map for you. Show you a map so you can see where they are. You're within 10-15 miles of Apache Junction. Location, of course, Apache Junction is close. You can get in town and get groceries, supplies. You're also close to Canyon Lake, Arizona. Hiking trails all over the place. Oh my goodness. Tortilla Flat. You can go in there and have a drink, have lunch or dinner. It's a cool little place with dollar bills stuck all over the walls. You can also take a ride out east and do the viewpoint. But remember, right now the road to Apache Lake is closed because of damage, so you can't go all the way through to Apache Lake. You can reserve this campground on ArizonaStateParks.com. You're close to a little place called Goldfield Ghost Town. If you kind of like the old west kind of stuff, you like little touristy things, you like to do a little shopping through the gift shops, they have the shootout on the street. It's just a fun little place to stop for a day, spend a couple hours there. Goldfield Gold Town, and it's just a short drive south of the campground. I want to say 3 miles at most. If you go another mile or so, you'll see the Superstition Mountain Lost Dutchman Museum, which is kind of a new place I haven't been to, but next time I head out that way, I'm going to stop in there and see it. Superstition Mountain Lost Dutchman Museum. It goes through the history of the whole area, and plus all the history of mining in the area, and check it out. Number 2, Catalina State Park in Tucson. Tammy and I have stayed there, but it was before, but it was a few years ago when we had a trailer, actually. We stayed there, and it's a nice park. They've added some amenities to it since we were there last. Let me go through the breakdown here. There's 120 campsites available, $25 for non-hookups, $35 for hookups. It's close to Tucson. There's also equestrian trails and hiking trails all around the Catalina Mountains there. You're close to Tucson, so it's an easy drive into Tucson to see things like Saguaro National Park or Sabino Canyon, for example. That would be a really cool place to go. Sabino Canyon in Tucson is a real close drive from there. So they have events scheduled regularly. Check the website for Catalina State Park and see if they have outdoor kind of events. They have concerts, they have like ranger talks, things like that. $25 for non-hookups, like for tent spots, $35 a night. They have showers, nice showers, water and electrical hookups for $35 a night, which isn't too bad. But do check the website because things do have a tendency to change by surprise. But you can reserve those ahead of time on that website. So now, drum roll, let's go to number 1. All right, number 1 on my list. And I thought, well, this is crazy, but it is really a great spot. If you come to Arizona, it's the White Tank Mountain Regional Park, or otherwise known as Willow Campground. That's a mouthful. White Tank Mountain Regional Park. And I have a video on this. We went out there before. I'll put a link up here in the corner for you. Great little camp spot. There's only 40 spots though. It is reservable. $32 a night. Great cell service. They have showers, hot showers, flush toilets, and they can accommodate up to 45-foot rigs. So like Class A motorhomes, you're fine. If you're pulling a tow vehicle, the spots that you pull into are long and level, and that's good. The only drawback is there's only 40 spots. So if you're planning to make a trip to Phoenix, reserve it ahead of time. Sometimes you can get spots there. Oh, I'm going to say like October, November, you might luck out and be able to easily get spots if you're in the middle of the week. As it gets closer to the holidays, Christmas time, New Year's, it's going to pack and fill up a little bit faster because that's when everybody comes to Phoenix and to enjoy the winters. So hiking trails abound everywhere. Bicycling, you're close to the West Valley, Phoenix, so you've got the Cardinals football games, you've got the Westgate and Glendale, and there's a lot of activities that are all within a short driving distance if you have a vehicle that you can get out and drive around. So check it out. White Tank Mountain Regional Park. That is a mouthful, and I had to write that down because sometimes I mess up the words and it just comes out weird and sounds funny. But White Tank Mountain Regional Park. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you find some of these helpful. Like I said before I let you guys go, safe travels. I always like to say that because be safe out there. The roads get crazy. We've been traveling all summer. We went to California and we went to the mountains. We went back to the mountains and had a couple of close calls. people driving around, so they're not watching where they're pulling in lanes. And I always take it easy. I'm driving a 25-foot motorhome, but I tell you, some people with big rigs, they just drive crazy. They're going 75 miles an hour in the Class A, towing a vehicle behind them. It just scares me. So be careful out there, be safe, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And one last thing before I go, I'm starting to keep track of all of my expenses. So it's always a good idea to keep track. I write down your mileage, how much gas you use, how much you spend on groceries, and how much you spend on campgrounds. And the more I do this, the more I realize camping like this is a great bargain compared to going in a car and buying a hotel, paying for your food in restaurants. You really do save a lot of money traveling this way. If you have a family, it's even better, because these days everybody's trying to save what you can, right? And trying to make that dollar stretch a little longer. And it doesn't have to be in an RV or a motorhome. You can do it in a tent or a little small trailer or something, or in the back of a pickup truck with a camp. You know, they make those really nice tents that you can put in the back of a pickup truck, as long as you got a pickup truck that's long enough to sleep in. If you got one of those 5-foot beds, that's kind of, you know, you gotta kind of scrunch up in there. But take care, everybody. Catch you later. Bye.